Hi, sir. This is Roshni Tangwil, Nitin, and Shaurya Singh from Group 7. So this is our Review 3 video. Our topic is parallelization of local gene sequence alignment. So as explained in our previous videos, we're just going to give a very small introduction into our topic. So the two main searches that are usually done for gene sequencing is local and global searching. A global alignment aligns two sequence from beginning to end, aligning each letter in sequence only once, and an alignment is produced regardless of whether or not there's a similarity between the sequences. So the main algorithm that's usually used for that is the Needleman-Wunsch algorithm. And then the next one is the local search alignment. So in this one, the sequences which are suspected to have similarity or even dissimilar sequences can be compared with local alignment method. And it finds the local regions with high levels of similarity. So the main one that's used for this is the Smith-Waterman algorithm, which is what we are going to be using for this project. So the basic steps for the Smith-Waterman algorithm is initialization of a matrix, which has all the gene sequencing information, the matrix filling with the appropriate scores, and tracing back the steps for a suitable alignment. So this is a scoring schema to create the proper local, best fit local alignment. And this is the basic overview steps of the algorithm. So first, the matrix is initialized with each side representing a sequence of genomes. Then all initial diagonal elements are set to 0, and the scoring element is used to allot values to all matrix values, the scoring schema which was shown in the previous slide. Then a sequence is built based on which neighbors has the highest scores, and then several of each such sequence are built. The program then traces back the sequences with the highest score to find the best local sequence. And there can be more than one the best local sequences. Usually the best sequence alignment that is computed by our program would be shown as the output. Nitin, would you like to take it out from here?
So, sir, the most documented problem with uh, the SW algorithm is that initially it had a quadratic complexity in space as well as in time, but with research that has taken over so many years, one of the chief problem that still remains is its quadratic complexity in time. As we already discussed in review two, that quadratic complexity in time becomes a very big problem when we are dealing with huge databases. Now, the problem is aggravated when you consider the fact that genomic database or biological databases, their collection is increasing at a rate that is way faster than the improvement in processor or processor speed, right? So to study the problem itself, we conducted a small experiment. What we did is we studied the sequential implementation of the SW algorithm, the parallelized implementation in the form of an OpenMP implementation, a MPI implementation, and then the hybrid implementation of OpenMP and MPI on a CPU as well as on a GPU. The codes are attached in the project report, right? So what we observed from the experiment is that hybrid code is better than MPI code, which is better than the OpenMP code. Now, there are theoretical considerations as well as experimental considerations behind this. Due to our limited hardware, which was this, due to our limited hardware, we were definitely unable to produce any sort of conclusive experimental evidences. But out of after all the research papers that we studied that are related to this particular subject, we realized that OpenMP is the thread implementation of parallelism. MPI is an implicit implementation of parallelism from distributed system. So based on our result, which give very vague results, but based on our results as well as on the theoretical aspect of the subject, we come to a conclusion that hybrid implementation of the project performed way better than both the OpenMP and MPI implementation of the project. So what we did is we have already shown you the parallel versus series implementation of the project as a part of our review too. Again, I'd like to just point it out again. You can clearly see that the parallel implementation is way better than serial implementation as we increase the size of the sequences, right? Similarly, what we did is we used a CUDA program. CUDA is a NVIDIA made platform for implementing parallelism on a GPU level architecture. So what we did is we implemented all the codes that I mentioned, all the implementation that I mentioned on a CPU, and we also did the same on a GPU, on a CUDA Google Colab platform. You can see here what we used here was a um, CUDA 10.1 version, right? So what the results that we obtain, pardon, the results that we obtain are like this, that the GPU implementation is way faster than a CPU implementation, and as we go along, as we increase the sequence length, right? And this is further enforced by the benchmarked results that we got from the NVDI Tesla Bio Workbench, which is again a great platform for collecting data and tools for biocomputer, you know, workspaces, right? So what you can observe is that on a general CPU, the highest speed attained was roughly, let's say, 12 GCUP. One GCUP is 30 billion updates per second in sequence alignment and sequence mutation, right? Whereas when a GPU was used, it was around 17 GCUP, and with two GPUs, it actually achieved a speed of around 32 GCUP. So, based on the experiments that we conducted and the theoretical research that we carried out, what we conclude is that one of the chief problems that are associated with SW, that is the quadratic time complexity, is largely because of the bottlenecks that the CPU has, right? So, because SW algorithm relies on a matrix which can be more closely related to images and graphics. So, on a GPU only architecture, or on an architecture where GPU are very powerful, their SW algorithm might actually be able to overcome the basic limitation that it currently stands with, right? However, the problem today is that we still rely on a CPU GPU combined architecture, right? Now, the problems that we faced was naturally CUDA. CUDA has very specific requirements with the system that it is used in, right? So we had to we had to work out with several versions of CUDA, including like 9.2 and 8.0 and stuff, right? And another problem was that, of course, we have limited architectures on our system. So Google Colab and Kaggle and other cloud services, they provide both CPU specific and GPU specific and GPU accelerated architectures, right? So yeah, that's how these two challenges were solved, right? Yeah, that is all with our project. This is Nitin Ranjan, Roshni, and Shaurya. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.